Now I'm going to talk about this course, how it will proceed, and most importantly, the course objectives. By the end of this course, there are a bunch of things that you should be able to do. I'm not going to read every one of these, but I'll highlight what I think are the most exciting or important ones. The first one is that you should be able to assemble, program, and create simulations of haptic virtual environments with your own haptic device. As you know, every student in the class will be receiving one of these Hapkits. You'll have to put it together yourself, but once you've successfully done that, you'll be able to program it so that you can create haptic sensations that you invent. And this is both the technically challenging as well as most creative part of the course. We'll also talk about human haptics, some of the details of the mechanisms on this Hapkit that allow it to generate these haptic sensations, and teach you about applications of haptic devices. I hope that at the end of the class you'll be ready, although we won't actually do this in the class. We hope that at the end of the class you'll be able to develop a new haptic device or a new application of a haptic device, whether for research or work or just your own entertainment. The weekly structure of this class is as follows. Every week you'll have videos, online quizzes, and a laboratory assignment to complete. The online quizzes are interspersed throughout the videos. If there's a topic that you're already very familiar with, so for example, if you've used Arduino programming a lot, you can skip through most of the videos related to that and just go to the online quizzes. But even if it's a topic that you know about, you need to complete the online quiz. Every week there will be a laboratory assignment as well, and you'll have to submit some kind of data. In some cases it will just be an image, say, of the Hapkit that you assembled. In other cases it will be numerical data that you'll submit through a website that you can give to us for grading. These will be available every Monday along with the videos, and they'll be due the following Monday. You'll have to keep up with this course on a week-to-week basis. It's not a self-paced course because we want to make sure that students are discussing the same types of issues and that we're answering the same types of questions every week. So do keep up with these assignments on a week-to-week basis. The grading for this class consists of 30% for the online quizzes and 70% for the laboratory assignments. The quizzes should be relatively easy, or at least short in terms of how much time you have to think about them. And like I said, they're interspersed with the videos, so you'll have to find them as you click through the website. The laboratory assignment is going to have a written explanation and directions that you can download and step through carefully, and then you should make sure to submit your laboratory data on time for grading. In order to receive a passing grade in this class, which is essentially what you need to get in order to receive a statement of accomplishment, which tells you that you've completed this class or that you can show to other people, you have to get 70%. So I'll note that 70% equals a pass. The Hapkit is one of the most exciting things about this class. You're going to be getting this physical haptic device which you can assemble and program. But I don't want to send out the Hapkit to people who aren't going to use it. So we want to make sure we're really sending the Hapkit to people who are truly engaged in the class. So we will send you your Hapkit after you have completed all the quizzes and the laboratory for the first week. So what this means is that if you finish the first week's assignments early, you'll get your Hapkit earlier. We'll ask that you don't start assembling it until we have the instructions for that posted for you. But at least you'll get it and you'll be ready to go as soon as that second week starts. If you wait all the way until the Monday of the second week to submit your laboratory assignment, then you'll be getting your Hapkit a little bit delayed. So do try to finish that first week's assignment as quickly as possible so that you can show us you're engaged and ready to receive your Hapkit. The course content is divided into 5 weeks. The first week, which we're starting now, is Introduction to Haptic Technology and Human Haptics. The laboratory assignment won't use the Hapkit, but it will be a fun, hands-on assignment where you're basically going to do a haptics experiment. In the second week, you'll do Hapkit mechanical design and assembly. So you'll understand about why it's designed the way it does and get it all put together. Week 3 is Hapkit Mechatronics. The lectures will teach you about all the components for the Hapkit, how and why they work the way they do, and how you can program and test and calibrate your haptic device. And that will be the laboratory assignment that you'll basically be doing. It's getting the Hapkit ready for haptic rendering, which is what happens in Week 4. Week 4 is programming virtual environments, and this is the really fun creative part where you start to get to create original virtual environments that represent physical phenomenon that you want to create. Week 5 gets a little bit more technical with these virtual environments. Now you'll use your Hapkit to do a mechanical characterization of a real object and then generate a simulation. And this will highlight some of the great advantages and possibilities that you can have with a haptic device, as well as the technical challenges of making haptic virtual environments feel very realistic. As I mentioned in this course, you'll be getting a Hapkit. And just to conclude this lecture, I want to emphasize that this is an interactive process of learning to program haptic devices. You'll have your Hapkit, as shown here, which you'll assemble, and it will be communicating to a computer via a Hapkit board, which we designed in collaboration with a company in China called Seed. And this is a company that specializes in open source hardware. Your Hapkit board is actually mounted back here behind your big sector pulley on your Hapkit device. In any case, the Hapkit board will communicate through USB to your computer, and you, as the human operator, will be programming the computer while programming your Hapkit behaviors, which will get downloaded onto the Hapkit board to control the device. If you want to, beyond this course, although this isn't part of the regular course, you can also have the person interact with the Hapkit through the computer by using the computer for graphical displays.